Yeah, everything's for third place at this point.
Yeah.
The losing team descending to fourth as the pack starts to spread out as we move towards finals.
You got to start
Exciting
separating
so
yourself from
far.
the pack at some point, eh?
I would think so, yeah. And Aegis, I think the most successful Sejuani in the league is like coin flipping Sejuani games. Another one of the reasons I just don't like the pick. It's there sure is a lot of Sejuani data though, so I
Mm-hmm.
guess that is something.
Now, taking a look at the way that these compositions want to play things out, talked about it a little bit before. Pain Gaming want to let Wiser do wiser things. Want to let Karaoke engage mid-game fights. Want to get Dinketo involved to really, I imagine, snowball the side lanes. But both Jace and Lucian Nami are going to hit their peak in the mid-game. So starting off with a lead, really important to Pain Gaming. Red, on the other hand, they want to style. They want to let that Akali Fiora be utterly unleashed and just dancing all over your backline. However, it is going to take some time to get there. Same thing can be said of the Zeri. So time is on the side of Red, and if Pain misexecute just a little too much in that mid game, if they don't get ahead in the early game, something goes wrong, Red are going to clap back, and they're going to clap back very hard.
They certainly will here. Bull with the big engage. Goes essentially even top lane, but a lot of skill expression there, even just a level 1, which is the one ability. Zerilulu wins this super hard early, so Bvoy and Damage have to be careful not to step up too far. But they are looking for Karaoke to finish this clear bot side 3 camp, at which point they'll either try and push into the enemy jungle or look for a fight down bot side. What I don't want to see here, Dia, is both junglers 6 camp. I think it's just super low effort, and I think you want to play proactively.
That's what Teton is doing right now, jumping forward in the bot lane. We got to see that Aegis was spotted on Vision, so Pain at least going to be able to track the early impact of the red jungler and perhaps keep that at bay, maybe make plays of their own. Camps are going by, but I'm noticing that Karaoke, whether to avoid the Vision or to get a play going, has skipped over the chickens, so Bull's getting pushed in right now, but there may be an angle where these junglers meet up topside.
Certainly could be here. I gotta say, I don't like the pathing from Karaoke. I think he gets caught on the ward here. It's just a logical progression of how this clear is gone. We're invading topside. You don't have a man advantage. Bull is very low health, I will say that. But yeah, you're trying to get tracking on a Sejuani pre-6. This isn't a good use of your time as the Wukong.
Sets himself about one camp behind for his trouble as well. Should be able to get Scuttlecrab up topside and then transfer into the chickens should he like, but Karaoke getting caught on that vision really did hurt, and a bit of miscoordination with Wiser as well. If they were going for a gank up topside, Wiser would have had to have the wave a little bit closer to him, so as you said, the tracking not really worth it. Dinketo steps pretty far forward though, and Aegis does start to go for it. No gold card on Dinketo as this expires. Flash is necessary. Karaoke is here, but is Karaoke here too late? It looks like the answer is yes. Avenger picks up first blood and flashes forward looking for the second. Karaoke underneath the tower going to get stunned, but the rest of Red do not choose to follow up under the tower, not wanting to risk it for the metaphorical biscuit because they just got 400 gold. Why would they complain?
You know, generally we try to build up players in the CBLOL English broadcast rather than knock them down. So I'm going to say this. This is really good jungle pathing from Aegis. He finishes his clear out in the middle of the map and is able to respond to various situations that he sees. What he sees are incredibly illegal positioning from Dinketo, who gets super hard punished. Good play from Aegis.
Yeah, great recognition. I like that Red are taking their time in the bot lane as well, abusing the lack of combat summoners from Pain early in the game. Bvoy's gone with that cleanse, which means that with combination of the barrier and the heal, Red just have more effective health to take these big trades and look for something a little bit more upsetting up against Pain. They get the help out from Aegis, and everyone goes on the reset. Everyone, and ultimately, Red will do pretty well there. Let's take a look at this replay. Like you said, illegal positioning from Dinketo, and with the blue card out as well.
We're just like walking up melee range with the turret. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Karaoke is here. He tries to respond, but uh, this is another big issue I have with the Wukong pathing so far. You finished your clear way up topside, then just kind of did this weird invade, tried to drop a ward and get like additional tracking onto Aegis. Here's the thing, Aegis doesn't have very good gank setup pre-6. He only got that gank off because Dunkato was like literally down Avenger's throat, like literally like all the way at the end of the lane. That's why they were able to get the gank off at all. Otherwise, you don't need to track the Sejuani pre-6 that badly, right? Like it's not super important, not worth like totally inting your tempo. Anyway, and they will give up this first objective here. They will also give Aegis 6 relatively soon as well. So any pre-6 visions of grandeur, any dragon stacking, or anything that Pain could have gone for with this composition has essentially evaporated as everybody gets their ultimates, and Red gets really, really strong team fighting.
And I like that you bring up the dragon stacking being eliminated here, because it's actually a really important point when it comes to how Pain want to play things out. We mentioned this already, but this is a mid-game composition. And in the mid-game, normally you'll look to finalize that soul so that when you hit late, when the other team starts to spike, you're not getting affected by it. This time around, because Pain have lost this tempo early, that's a win condition that isn't going to be available to them later. And it's now moved just into the territory of, well, we must be economically ahead. And thankfully for them, they're not too far behind. Only 200 gold separating these two squads. Pain still are going to hit great item spikes on their first mythics to really take fights up against Red and do so aggressively. But that is the thing that they have to do now. If they can't execute on that, there's no game here.
No, there really isn't, unfortunately. And Pain going to try their heart out to try and get back into this game, but it is not looking increasingly better for them. Karaoke is still just full clearing, like he's playing for 6, but I don't know what he seems to think he gets something worthwhile.
6 bot lane. Teton, very powerful right now, jumps onto B-Void, does not pop the ultimate, but very well could have been a kill. Lots of pressure out of this Lulu's area, and lots of pressure up top side. Aegis goes for the engage, whiffs the ult, and Karaoke's here. Karaoke, again, no 6. Weiser is all on his own. There's no CC here, and he is just being chewed through. Red completely ignore the monkey and say, your top laner will die, then we'll deal with you. That's another kill picked up for Red, 2-0.
Nicely done there. Bold picks that one up, and he's off in the races to make a comeback in this lane, right? He's been down CS in the range matchup. Oh, Titan with the big jump. He hits the ultimate.
They don't go under tower here. Not against
they're not going to fall him.
Not who's picking
Not going to fall him in. Titan has like mana issues here too, right? So he's almost just like trying to get the ultimate onto cooldown so he can take the reset and force Dunkato off. Big Rift Herald play, big rotations from Red as they just continue to dominate the map play. I will go ahead and say here, Dia, just because I want to triple down on this, Red is not winning because they pick Sejuani. Sejuani is so bad. So Sejuani is good in other regions if that ultimate hits Weiser, but it doesn't. And it almost never does.
Wait, I just want to clarify. You're not saying that Red aren't winning. You're saying that the reason that they're winning, which they are, is not because they picked Sejuani.
It's
correct?
Not Sejuani.
Okay,
no,
that's
what
we're saying. I was like, Red are definitely winning.
Yeah, Red are 100% winning, but it's not Sejuani. I'm not going to give up on this point, man.
Okay.
Bull.
It might not be Sejuani, but it's definitely Aegis if Bull makes it out of this alive. Look at that. The stun comes through. Bull is still up. And
that was Sejuani.
That was one of the Sejuani plays of all time, and it's one of the better ones. That was very nice save.
Absolutely, and that was Sejuani, some inherent value from the champion there. It's incredible amount of damage that this tank jungler can output in the 1v1 when you get an opportunity to do that. Another tank jungler could not have done that, so that is something I will give the Sejuani here. But yeah, a couple more stats just to back up my feelings on the champion. It has a 29% win rate in CBLOL. It is just so bad, but yeah, in that play, yeah, you did kill Wise. That's good.
I'm out here commentating Red versus Pain. You're out here with the PhD on why you never pick Sejuani. We are different.
CBLOL, man. Not at all. Yeah, I'm casting CBLOL. I'm casting Sejuani versus Axeman.
Yeah,
that's what I'm casting.
Pain Gaming have got the push up, so finally in control towards this bot side. They did get some time alone with the tower to the tune of 2 plates, so a nice little economic boon given over to B-Boy and damage. That's gotten them all the way up to Noon Quiver Pickaxe, and hopefully a spot where they feel more comfortable in a lane that up until now Teton and Scramber were running. Now with the return, however, of this Zeri Lulu, I do wonder how they'll be able to navigate in what I would imagine is a 2v2, but that Red will likely make a 3v2 very soon.
I would have to imagine karaoke with the lane gank.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming up. It's coming up the lane. Nope.
I don't think they fight this. Scramber and Teton know something's up. This is really smart positioning from them.
Yeah.
They just take
classic Scamber. Aegis has ultimate. He's going to try and hit Wiser. He's going to miss.
Yeah.
Ready? Calling my shot.
Okay, I'm prepared. Here it comes.
Corner pocket.
Here's Aegis.
Surely there's no way.
We're waiting for the wave. We're waiting for the wave for sure.
We're waiting for the wave. Wiser's just going to full go in.
Avengers here. I don't even think we ult. Yeah.
They don't even ult. Yeah. Okay.
I think he knew.
Okay,
I think it's because he was like, I'm going to miss. Axeman will have predicted this. I should say
Axeman called it. I should just hold on to it. Yeah. Yeah, you can't miss if you don't throw it. That's true. It will take down this dragon for free here. Breaking up the dragon stacking for red, interestingly enough. But they're trying to accelerate bowl. They see a through line through here, and they're going to try to execute on it. I think this is this line has potential, right? The super fed Fiora, I think, is pretty good. Unfortunately, the Fiora is still behind both mid laners, so I think you want to spend a little bit more time mid if you're Aegis. I just don't know if you're going to get Dunkato to walk up that far again after that first blood play.
One of the fun things about the way that we're seeing Red play out the game right now is how it interacts with how Pain just like to play League of Legends. We talked about this earlier, but Pain loved to leave Wiser alone. And Red are abusing that fact. They're saying, you don't just get to be a top-tier Korean top laner and just be fine with that up here. We're going to gank you. There goes the ult. Wiser certainly going down again underneath the tower with a Rift Herald knocking at his door. That should be not just the kill, but big dollars going over to Red. Dinketo even using the ult right there, so denying the opportunity to help out the bot lane a little later on. Not that they need it, apparently.
Yeah, now that I've said something about it, Aegis is going to hit every single ult.
Yep.
That's just how it works, folks.
CBLOL versus Axeman. Sejuani versus Axeman.
That's how it goes in the biz, baby. But we're taking down the bot lane turret here for B-Boy now. Maybe one more plate before plating drops. And they're just fine walking away with that. Gale Force in the inventory for B-Boy. Really strong on Summoner's Rift. The Rod of Aegis coming out for Donkato. And they are looking good. Also Divine Sunder, but that's her Bowl. So Bowl feeling pretty strong up top side there as well. Interesting that he's still lagging behind both of the mid laners, despite having the 3 kills, right? A really big testament to how much Wiser is able to force Fiora off of the waves.
Yeah, just 20 CS down. Like, there's a reason why Red are paying so much attention to this matchup, and it is clearly coming at the cost of their other lanes as well. Avenger did get a piece of the pie up there, but Teton and Scramber have very much lost control of the bot lane with B-Voy and Damage's constant pressure, and well, we said earlier that Red were definitively winning. I still think they're in a good spot, but Pain have their way in now. The bot lane is accelerated, whether it be because of Dinketo ganks or whether it be because Red are committing resources elsewhere. Nami Lucian can get you through the mid game, and that's where we are right now. We're about to hit the 15-minute mark. Infernal Dragon is spawning in 2 minutes, and we should be fighting over it. We being Pain.
Yeah, we being Pain. I'm certainly in pain watching this Wukong gameplay. I don't like the Herbivore Wukong, man. I think we're playing for something that doesn't exist, this level 11 power spike from Cyclone, and I just do not think the Cyclone is going to save you from this game. Now that I've said it, he's going to hit the sickest 5-man Cyclone you've ever seen and fully save the game. But yeah, I don't think it's how you should be playing with this champion into Sejuani. I think you should be forcing the Sejuani to try and fight you at every stage. And Yeah, it might be too late even for karaoke. The Sejuani might just take it to you 1v1. Look at the invade here. This is a tank jungler invading a skirmishing jungler.
Pain are fighting
Like,
back though. I agree. Karaoke's having a rough time of it. Everybody else on Pain, they're kind of killing it right now. Dunketo popping up with the flash and the stun. Ghost has already been popped on Bull as well as the ult, so he gets out. That's a lot of resources that were just committed to the top lane, and now we check back in on mid where it's just Bvoy and Damage who have been hanging out during this play, trying to withstand some of the push from Teton and Scamber, and they've done all right.
they have done all right. They are going to do much better soon, though. Wiser, he understands what's about to happen. Aegis has the ultimate up, could potentially use it, or
Just
they
dodging
just
skill shots.
yeah, they just kill for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You can fully dodge all Zeri's auto attacks if you are able to. So it is something. Pushing out in the mid lane, and gotta be careful here. Bull will blow you up on the Fiora.
Glad they're giving him the respect as well. Lots of Red and Pain pulling each other around the map. A commitment into the top side from Pain pulls the focus down to the bot side from Red, which lets Pain get a mid lane, or rather get a lot of damage onto the mid lane tower. So lots going on here as these two teams are definitely playing with each other. No disrespect here. They're not playing their own games. They're very much reacting to each other, and Scamber unfortunately couldn't react quite fast enough, does get deleted by Pain, a Pain that was already strong enough to fight for the dragon, and now with a numbers advantage is just going to get it uncontested.
Yep, they sure will. Dragon stacking in spite of themselves here a little bit, and they'll get that one down for free. So it's fun gameplay, fun League of Legends time. For sure. Loving
Not for Scamber.
this stuff. Yeah, Scamber's having a rough game.
He did not have a good time there.
No, he's living the dream. He's playing with Titan, right?
That's
Good
true.
stuff.
Your
I know
Lulu
I would love to
alongside
play with
Zeri,
Titan.
you just...
Yep, just ult the Zeri. Off she goes into the ether. Is this one of the worst Titan games we've seen so far? I think he's had worse games this split. Here's a replay coming up through for you. Scamber, you scampering through. It just gets absolutely scambered, unfortunately.
I don't think any of the so I agree. Titan isn't having a great game. I don't think it's by any fault of his own though, and I think that's the big thing. Like I've definitely seen games where I'm like, Titan, you're doing it right now. This is your fault.
Yeah.
Right now, Titan just hasn't been involved in the game really, and he hasn't really had the chance to pop off. So I'm gonna give him one shot. Like I want to see him in a team fight, but yeah, I think he's having an okay game.
Yeah. So not the worst.
Not the worst.
Just kind of passive participant, I think, right now. Aegis is caught out.
Gotta become
Damage.
active.
Good stuff there. Active working for Aegis. The most successful Sejuani player who turned it on as soon as I said Sejuani was bad. Very, very good stuff, to be sure. They take down the middle lane, turret, break open the map here a little bit for themselves. Titan is in an interesting position here in the mid lane now that they've broken open this turret. You are not safe outside your turret. Certainly without the Lulu, so you can't hang out in the mid lane. Lucian Ami will run you down, but with the Lulu there, you get a lot more safety, and you can actually stay in this lane a little bit. Looks like they're taking the reset, going to give up this mid lane turret potentially, but Bvoy does not want to step up too far.
Yeah, he's thinking about it. Gets that backup from Karaoke, and nicely done from Pain, sniffing out that the reset was coming in. Do apply that little bit more pressure. I don't believe they actually get the turret, though, so Red able to hang on to that is going to be pivotal if they're able to do so for the next couple minutes, as Baron's about to come up, and having mid lane pressure means a lot around the objectives like these. Dragon, another Infernal, coming up in the next 2.5 minutes. The longer that this mid lane tower stands, the less priority Pain will have on objectives.
Wise is chilling on a ward, unfortunately. Aegis going to walk in.
Snipe it.
More
nice.
of that. Ooh, big snipes. More of that tank jungle invade from Aegis on the Sejuani. The best Sejuani so far. Big Dunketo, Twisted Fate ultimate.
Flash is good. I think Avenger might get out. Yeah, Avenger gets out. Just Red avoiding a lot, and I mean, we called out Titan earlier, sort of bringing into question how he was playing this game. I got to do the same to Jinketo. This Twisted Fate has not been it. And I don't know whether it's coming down to Jinketo, whether it's coming down to the team and how they're playing, but the Twisted Fate ults have really not given anything to Pain, and I'd rather see him on something with a little more damage right now.
Yeah, I'd love to see him on something with more damage. I'd also just like to see him use the tools they have. I mean, they had this Lucian Nami down bot side. The whole game long just did nothing with it, right? You have the big Twisted Fate ultimate you use to rotate down bot side there. You have the big skirmishing jungler with the ultimate now here at level 11, but has had that ultimate for so long. And there's just no skirmishes. There's no fights over objectives bot side. You've essentially just been letting Red run the game from the top side of the map for free and not punish them at all at the bottom side of the map. They've gotten a couple dragons, but they have traded immensely for those dragons, and it has not come out positively for them. They're staying in the game, but just no big plays, and I need more big plays from them.
All credit, by the way, to the way that B-Boy and Damage have been playing, despite that lack of attention. Really doing quite well. Pain on another play, trying to catch out Avenger. I hesitate to say that it should work this time. He's still got ult. We'll commit it to buy a little bit more space. No tower here for safety, but man, this Akali is so fast that Pain commit even more to picking up this kill. Do finally do it. Where is the answer from Red elsewhere on the map? Teton is finally fighting B-Boy and Damage here. He jumps in. Doesn't quite get the kill. Both sides coming out very much scarred. Lucian Nami versus Zeri Lulu. That came down to the wire.
It certainly did. You blow both ultimates from B-Boy and Damage there. So this does mean that you have the angle here for Red. And you'll be able to get this objective down for free. Normally not a good idea for Titan to go for that fight, but he's an incredible AD carry, able to stay alive and get those resources out from B-Boy and Damage, then rotate back onto the objective. I will tell you, Zeri Lulu lose that fight in the mid lane against B-Boy and Damage, especially when that culling hits mostly onto the Zeri, which it did in that fight. But you're not looking to win the fight. You're just looking to blow the cooldowns, then drop back on the objective.
At this point, you're sat back a little bit as Red, knowing that the objectives are where it's at. Baron up soon. Pain with a little bit more vision in that area, but they got to make the most of these power spikes while they still can. I'd still classify Pain as being in the driver's seat from an items perspective, from a compositional perspective. 23 minutes is where a mid-game comp should still be good. Weiser, unfortunately lagging a little bit behind there, has just picked up his second item, but we've still got B-Boy and Damage. We still have this Lucian Nami that so many compositions this season of CBLOL have hinged on, have lived and died by. And now it's time to sing that song. Let's find out around this Baron. Bull may not even let it happen. Committing onto Weiser, gets the kill underneath the tower. Pain are chasing down there, and that means that on the other side of the map, Red are getting what they really wanted.
They are getting exactly what they wanted. They wanted the Baron, and they will get it. Bull still has the teleport here. Could join the fight.
Avenger, so slippery, man. Does get that dash, but again, Aegis plays the superhero, commits out of the Baron pit, but does flash right back in. Teleport, going to leave Bull isolated, but on this Fiora, he simply doesn't care. Teton joins the fight. Scamber is trying to survive in the pit, has to ult himself. This is so scuffed from Red, and Pain are somehow denying this Baron play by just applying pressure with their faces. They walk up, Red try and style on him, and Pain just keep it from happening for long enough that we'll live to fight Baron another day, and Pain are going to get the mid lane tower.
Yeah, they get the mid lane tower just before the pause comes out. You can see the shrugs from a bunch of the Red fans, like what happened?
What's happening here?
We'll see if we chrono break this. I didn't see what the bug might have been. Somebody might have DC'd, but I didn't catch it. We'll potentially see in the replay here in just a little bit. But yeah, great team fight there. Really love to see the effort from both sides. Scamber putting in everything he possibly could to keep that Baron going, shielding himself. He even ulted himself there right at the end of the play. And yeah, now they're just finally forced off of it by Pain, able to leverage them off. There's just no one to hit the objective. Titan way too low, and there's nothing he could do about it. But we'll see here. Titan looks like he's happy about something, so we'll see.
I mean, they're doing pretty well. I am very surprised at the way that fight went down. You talked about Scamber as well. I have been in that position so many times as a support where your team is committing over the wall. They want a style, and you really want him to succeed, but goddamn, is that Baron hurt? That is, it is not
right.
something you are set up to be in the pit with alone, let alone with just you and the jungler. Never the duo that's supposed to be taking things on. Now, if you guys in the chat do have any insight as to what's going on with the pause, we would love to know. Otherwise, Axeman and I are just chilling for a little while we wait for this game to get back underway. And a game that I am having difficulty predicting, Axeman. I think both these teams, while they do have their clear shortcomings, as we've highlighted during the course of this game, are playing really well with where they're at. Pain may not have gotten ahead in the same ways they'd liked in the early game, but man, are they making B-Boy and Damage work. They're positioning really well for this. Weiser is still staying somehow relevant to the game, despite the fact that he can't fight Bull. And Red, on the other hand, they are really doing well. They've drafted themselves into a late game composition. They've made a lot of plays around the top side, and while they did lose bot by a fair margin, they're abusing the fact that this Fiora is ahead.
They really are. Fiora's been instrumental in the team fights for this composition as well. Aegis coming through big here too. I will give credit where it's due to the Sejuani, and they are looking to leverage additional objectives from the composition. I mean, you talk about gold, we're dead even right now.
Mm-hmm.
So both teams extremely evenly matched, and they will be duking it out in perhaps the closest team fight we've seen yet.
Mm-hmm.
If we do get a good 5v5, there's a lot of pick tools on the side of Red, so they could potentially look to use those for a kill and leverage the 5v4. But for my money, I think with the way both these junglers operate in team fights, should be just the 5v5 straight up.
Yeah, but I remember that with the mid-game comp that Pain have, the fact that we're even right now is only going to last so long. That gold can stay tied for the rest of the game, and if it does, Red will eventually win it. Their champions are just going to feel better with more items, and that point may be coming right now as they feel confident enough to take a fight aggressively in Pain's jungle. Karaoke leaps forward, does not commit the ultimate, doesn't want to try and start a fight, but Aegis certainly does. Doesn't quite line up the ultimate. Takes a fair bit of damage back, actually getting engaged on himself. The rest of Red having to come back to protect their Sejuani. Out goes the ultimate onto Aegis, popping up Karaoke and forcing the rest of Pain back, but it's an ultimate gone from the Lulu. And Red retreating now in through the mid lane, maybe thinking about this dragon. We've got two objectives for you to pick between now. 30 seconds until Infernal. And Baron still up and available.
Dragon could be huge for either side. Both sides have an incredible amount of damage on their composition, so that burst is going to help out both evenly. They're also even in dragons here, so this should be a dragon both sides will be fighting for. We see Pain arriving early, setting up. 10 seconds till spawn.
Red
I
making
like
a call.
Pain. Yeah, I like Pain for the dragon here. And Red are going to call the ball. They want the Baron.
Now, what do Pain do here? Do they take the trade unwittingly? It looks like they've sniffed out that Baron is the call. They've got that ward in the pit. So knowing that Red are doing this, are going to commit to a fight up here. In comes the Destiny, full vision on everyone from Red. Pain have got the angles. B-Voy and Dinketo on the flank, and we again force this neutral game state where Pain have priority on the dragon. They fake the turn and they make the burn. Avenger gets deleted in the mid lane, and now Pain have full access to this dragon, knowing that Red, even with their comp scaling, cannot fight this yet.
Really nice pick from B-Boy, gets the damage out with the ultimate. That's what it's for in the late game, and that is what Lucian can do in the late game. Just drop that ultimate on you, deal so much damage. It scales so effectively. Once the ultimate is down, not so good in the late game for the Lucian, but you can't count it out, right? An Avenger finds out the hard way. You do not want to eat the entirety of that ability. It's like 3,000 damage or something. There's so much damage.
It's so much.
Front-loaded onto the single ability. But, yeah, they are not able to get the Baron off of that play either. It's just a full Pain Gaming win with that Dragon play.
It's been really nice for them so far, and Pain, much like Liberty last game, just navigating the mid stage when they are slightly behind to perfection. Red are still on the come up. They're still very scary, and Pain are dancing around them, making Red move to the beat of their own drum, and it's looked really good so far. And now we're back to that stage where Baron is the objective. Nothing else for the next little while. We are again waiting for that dragon, but if we go 4 minutes without a Baron fight, something has gone wrong. This isn't the CBLOL. Aegis is already trying to start one. Doesn't quite go their way, and it's a big cooldown for Red, a big team fight starter that now they don't have access to. Teton using his body as a sort of substitute for it. Bold doing the same. They separate Karaoke from the squad, force him to jump back defensively, and Pain are just not giving Red the team fight that they're looking for.
Yeah, they're not giving them the fight they want, right? They are continuing to hang on for the time being. Pain, they want to weigh onto the Baron. Team has a tough time engaging. They need the Cyclone up for primary engage. And you have to be able to follow up Karaoke, who will die very quickly.
Oh, it's the Omega flank. It's the Mondo flank. In it comes. Red flashing away. Aegis still goes down, but now B-Boy is... B-Boy almost gets taken down. Bull is in your back line as he leaps all over your carries, and Red lose their jungler. But they got the fight. That was such a sick setup from them.
The Q resets are crazy from Bull. They will be able to... Oh, they're going to take the resets here after the big picks on the B1 and Wiser.
They lost
they will
Aegis,
be back onto the map. They lose Aegis and not able to take with that. Aegis dashes forward. I didn't see the ultimate come out because it did not come out. Aegis died pretty quickly there. Catching B-Boy here, pretty good from Bull. He's able to heal back up with the ultimate. Get the additional kill down onto Wiser. Honestly, I think this is like best case scenario for Pain with the positioning they had at the top of that fight, right? That was an end of game scenario. I will not lie to you. With the amount of damage that Bull can deal to turrets, if they all get killed there, that might have been the end of the game.
It certainly could have. And this late in, I think both these teams know that. Pain, playing with that in mind, are lucky to have gotten the pick on the jungler. Otherwise, it's Baron 100% of the time. And Red, they know it as well. Bull, great target acquisition in that fight. Just search and destroy. You know what the win condition is, and it looks like we're doing it again. Avenger now on the teleport flank, and... front to back for Red. They're trying to force this engagement, trying to make Pain uncomfortable. Pain again, avoiding these fights. And honestly, I said that I'd be really surprised if we made it here, Axeman. We're a minute away from the dragon spawning, and we still haven't fought actually over the Baron yet.
Yeah, we have not had a fight in that topside river yet. But that dragon spawning in under a minute now. Pain are going to rotate up, try to control this Baron before that dragon spawns. Remember, that dragon soul point, they took that third dragon, gave them all of this freedom to be able to make this topside play, right? Red,
teleport.
Here's the fight.
Here comes Bull.
Wow,
Titan, so much damage onto the rest of the squad. Avenger leapfrogs his way in because Titan's already softened him up. Now Avenger is going to go down, so Red trading 1-for-1 at the moment. Are still searching for more, and Aegis is burned down on the side. Does get out alive thanks to the Lulu, but a 1-for-1 leaves no team decisively on top, and Pain continue to hang on to life here.
Yeah, just narrowly scraping by here, right? The dragon will spawn. Pain shouldn't be able to find their way onto the objective, I wouldn't think. We'll see here. Karaoke is in the area, could look for a potential steal, so they won't start up without Aegis. This is a 4v3 technically.
I don't know how Pain are going to approach this. Teton gets out over the wall, repositioning for the incoming fight, but Aegis on the flank isn't something you'd expect.
Whoa!
In comes that CC, and B-Voy does not get to play League of Legends. This is the fight that Red have been looking for, that they have dreamed of, and that will get them this dragon. And you have to imagine the Baron right after. If B-Voy can't play the game, Pain cannot play the game.
Oh, they can't play the game. That's the third dragon down for Red. Now they'll rotate up onto the Baron. There's nothing to stop them. Karaoke died in the last fight, and he will stay dead for the next 30 seconds. So there is no contest. 3v5 is not tenable for Pain Gaming. The Baron will fall to Red, and they will try and use it to end this game.
That is the perfect fight for Red. Picking off the jungler and the AD carry. I guess the Aegis flag is what we were looking for the whole time, and as we said, as Pain, you just don't expect that. Having the main engage tool come from the side that you were hoping would be clear and maybe might have a Fiora on it. It's just, that was tough to deal with. I want to take a look at it again because Pain are, they're so lost here.
Yeah.
That Sejuani
Totally
comes over the
unexpected.
wall and they go, I don't even know. We're gone. We lost.
Yeah, totally unexpected, and I think you just don't expect the Sejuani to be played at that level either, right? It's been a fantastic Sejuani game from Aegis, truly a standout performance, and he's making the champion look about as good as it actually is, right? Super low win rate in the CBLOL, but in Aegis' hands, it looks perfect. He's doing everything he needs to be doing, looking for the pick angles, looking for the big ultimates. He's connecting the ultimates on major targets, and that is how you play this champion effectively. That's how you win games.
Yeah, super good stuff, and Aegis gets to move forward again, knowing that he, if anyone, can survive and engage if need be. Weiser doesn't get to land the poke on the side, and Pain are now going to be hemmed in, because remember, guys, the Baron is here, and Bull in the bot side is the one ushering these minions in. Red are not only ready to fight, they have a level 18 Fiora with Baron buff knocking on their base, and I gotta say, Axeman, not a lot of people survive this scenario.
Nope, not a lot of people. Indeed, this is an end of game level scenario, and you're desperately trying to get out of this. If you're Pain, Bull potentially caught out.
Excellent parry. Just avoids so much of that damage. Bull gets out alive, gets the turret for his troubles, and with this Baron, Red are definitely focused on breaking the tier 2s. They're getting it done. Teton gets engaged on, but turns right around with the support from Scamber on this Lulu. That's 2. We'll see if they get this 3rd. Red are already rotating up. Bull's moving down to the bot side to ensure they've got additional pressure. They're going to get this last tier 2, if not the base.
They're certainly going to try to here. The Baron minions are still up here for Red, and they will be able to take this topside turret unopposed. Oh, no, they're backing up.
Check out
Worried
Bull's
about
positioning on the map.
something.
But
Yeah,
where
worried
Bull is
about-
says a lot about how Red are playing this game. Backing up onto the mid lane. They're playing it slow for now, perhaps waiting for the next wave. Red have got the chance to reset, but they don't quite feel confident. As soon as Bull moves into that bot side, though, tower's falling, and looks like he doesn't even need to. So much attention committed to this Fiora that topside tier 2 going to end up going down. Pain don't even get a say.
Yeah, they don't really get anything right. Aegis can throw this ultimate and miss it because there's no big team fight coming up here. He takes the reset, and most of that cooldown's going to be back up. You can see it's already a quarter of the way through. So that's why you throw ultimates out just before you reset, because they'll essentially be up by the time you get back on the Summoner's Rift and look for another fight. There's no big objective up for another minute till that next dragon spawns, and Aegis' ult will be up for that next fight.
As we approach it around this dragon, just a few seconds left. you have to imagine Red know they are the favorites to win this fight. Pain know they are the underdogs at this point. Every cooldown must be used perfectly. But if Pain win, we're 38 minutes into the game. If anyone comes out on top, one misstep from Red, and Pain could walk away with this game, could even up the scoreboard in this one or in this team's matchup. It looks like Pain are caught out, but Red don't have full information. Out comes B-Boy, out comes the wave, but down goes Karaoke. The first pick, the second pick, the third. They all belong to Red as they pincer you down by the dragon. And now, as we predicted, Axeman, they've got the game. A triple for Bull, a real styling game for Red.
And they're going to try and sprint for the Nexus here. They could drop back onto the Dragon if they want to, but no, they're teleporting, trying to get this game over and done with. 30 seconds on the death timers will mean Red is able to end here, Dia.
Such a good game from them. Very patient play and great commitment up onto the top side as well. It's put Red in a dominating position, and we may not like it, Axeman. But B1 Sejuani.
B1 Sejuani
It did
does
win.
get the victory.
It gets
there.
another dub.